There we go. We're here. We're having a morning of it. We're here. We got audio in the studio where it's gonna be a little bit of an easy game today, I would say, because the Cowboys are not so good. But let's go over some of Danny's picks before we get into this week on Dipsey Madden. So, pertaining to the 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 game that we're playing today, we got Danny picking the Cowboys, and then Broncos versus Caps. Danny picks the Broncos. Bears versus Barons. He picked the Bears, just like me. He picked the Seahawks over the Browns. I picked the Browns. And he picked the Texans over the Oilers, and I picked the Oilers. But in this game, which is all we're going to talk about today, he's got Dallas winning, and I've got St. Louis. So those are your picks. And so who we're looking at is Damian Harris, third in the league in rushing. And that's really it. So their running game could control this one. We'll see what happens this week in Dipsey Madden. So a 76 overall team over a 68 overall team. Both kind of seem bad, but the Patriots are actually really good. Just not so much on paper. And then the Cowboys are atrocious either way. So I'm going to let you watch the intro and get into it. It's Cowboys, Patriots football here in Texas. And St. Louis is going to get the ball first as the Patriots receive. And a good return to the 30. So finally some season stats. 12 for 15, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns. No picks last week. That's some pretty good stats. Not only the season stats, but those were his stats last week. So pretty good, actually. Solid performance. The first pass going to go to Boss. And he's got a solid 10. First down. Every time we start a Patriots game and this guy gets a catch, we gotta go into how he started off as a 4-string wide receiver. And he's fought his way up to that starting position. And some people say he's not even really the most skilled wide receiver in the game. Or as Harris gets a 1-yard run. But he's still over there, and he's the number one. And that's the thing. When you work hard, you get rewarded. This one, another pass to Danny Boss. And he's got a first down. This time on a slant route. Left side, middle of the field. So now they're going back to their running back. And he's got 9. Give him 9 on the run. It's 2nd and 1. And Harris is starting his day off on that run, it seems. So he gets a first down after for just a couple. So they got other guys that they could start over Harris. But they don't, because he's really that good, you know. And plus, if he gets hurt, you have depth at that position. So a little 3-yard run for Harris. And so 2nd and 7. They're going to hit him again. And he's got the first, I think. Yes, 1st and 10. So now they got their 2 wide receivers out, but they still hand it to Harris, who's got 13 or so on the run. $12. First down at the 15. So he's able to make him look silly, obviously. This is not a good team, though. So this a toss to Boss, touchdown, Patriots. So his 3rd passing touchdown on the year. And Danny Boss is 2nd receiving. He had one in the last game. And the extra point's looking good. So it's 7-0, St. Louis. And the Patriots kick away. And the Cowboys are going to have to do something here. And if they're going to do it, it's going to be up against this St. Louis defense, who's tough but breakable. 1 touchdown, 210 yards, 21 for 38. No picks in his last game. So honestly, a nice little performance. Just didn't get the win. But no turnovers in that game. So looking to do the same type of thing, but win. Come out with the W. Well, 1 rush for no yards on the first play for the Cowboys. Picked off Claiborne, who's down at the 20-yard line. So an early pick, right as I was saying. They had no turnovers last week. So he just had to come out and throw a pick. So he's 1 for 1 on the year. And Damian Harris had a touchdown last week. And there's a reason they're talking about it. When you get the ball here in the 20, you just kind of hand it to your running back and hope, that he breaks one off to the 7-yard line. An injury for Cooper for Dallas on that line. So now he's down at the 7, and you know they're going to have to give him some kudos. And he's got it. Touchdown, Patriots. Damian Harris, right to left, up the middle, obviously. And it's 14-0 real quick. So the kick is good, and it's 14-0. The Cowboys have yet to score, and it's tough at this point. You know, because when you got a rolling team like this, it's just not looking good for you. You just got to slow the game down and go out there, get the ball at half. A good run here to the 33. Minute and 24 left in the first, so they got plenty of time to slow this game down. Second and 2. And I just can't get it. 3rd and 1. And the whole defense just swarming. I think they knew they were trying to slow it down and they just could not there. So they're punting. So like I said, Dallas is kind of just atrocious. They might have a punter down at the 6. And the quarter ends. So 6 minutes here. They fake the run. Toss the ball to the tight end. It's incomplete. Menard was open. So maybe they're trying to throw here. Getting it to the tight end this time. First down and then some. This one to Danny Boss. Running around and sacked in the backfield. That's going to lead to 2nd and 15. So they do get a sack here in the second with 4:44 left. But Maynard's got it for the first down. And he's up over 100 yards. As he's just dunking it to Maynard. This one to Danny Boss, touchdown. And that's his 50th. Not his second, that'd be his 50th. He's got to have more than that. Career touchdown pass. $21-0. And the Cowboys are not doing much scoring. And that's a tackle by Bobby. Bobby Mentor. He's just one of my favorite players. Almost a pick on his second throw. It's 3rd and 7. Incomplete. So he's 0 for 3 and a pick. And that could be his whole first half. So he's just going to be hoping he has a better half, I think. Because they're going to go into run mode here. Down at the 29. The Cowboys kind of looking dead out there. As it's just a little too easy, I think. The Patriots are not this like stellar type team. They're a little more methodical, but when you play the Cowboys, you look quite stellar these days. So I really hope the Cowboys can turn it around. I don't know what would help. So if you guys in the comments have any idea on what we could do with the Cowboys, because it is a team we have control of, and then we'll get it done. Maybe you saw some free agents, but nobody cares about these boys. And my friend David is the owner, and he's locked up, and I can't ask him what he would do as the 2-minute warning is upon us. It's 21-0. The Cowboys are looking at an 0-2 season if they can't just turn the Jets on defense or offense. Damian Harris is, of course, he's a running back that, in my opinion, is Hall of Fame worthy. But nobody ever gave him the credit, and he might just have to retire soon, just like all the greats. This might be the last year for both of the great running backs, and mostly Damian Harris's team actually has a shot. So Spittle coming in. And they just got to have a good run game, so he's giving it his all this year. Him and Spittle, though. Spittle comes in. 2 rushes, 9 yards. It's huge. Now Damian's got 3rd and 1. They're handing it to him. He's banked around to the 2-yard line. 30 seconds here. Really methodical running, but only because it's these Cowboys. 12 seconds, 10 seconds. It looks like they're going to run it down to under 6. And he's got a touchdown. His 3rd of the season. And he's trying to make a big name for himself this season. So, gotta get a lot early. Gotta have at least 1 a game. 2's even better. So he's already ahead of schedule for season stats, essentially. It's tough to get there as a running back, especially. So he's kind of the first one to do that, I would guess, unless somebody had to in their first game. Ooh, so 1 second. Down at the 19, and they're kneeling. 28-0 is pretty tough. I cannot wait to look around the league at halftime. Let's see what type of updates we get from the Digital C. Hit us with the Digital C. Okay, so the first thing that it's telling me is 0 passing yards in that first half. Only 10 rushing yards for the Cowboys. Abysmal. Second thing, in New York, the Jets are losing 6-14 to the Titans. In Indianapolis, they're losing 6-20 to the Panthers. Both 0-1. Looking to both get a win. Felix has got 2 touchdowns in this game. So he's ahead of schedule, almost. In Atlanta, the Falcons and Arizona are still pretty close, but they're winning. Holding off Kyler Murray, but not Ashmore for the touchdown. It looks like some running touchdowns in there. That's all we get. Those are like okay updates. Digital C. It could have been better, but we'll take it. So we'll be waiting until the end of the week to see better updates on that. But the best update is that the Cowboys get the ball, so they get one more chance to redeem themselves. And they almost had a return back, but it only goes to the 31. Almost took it to the house. So they're coming out here saying we're throwing because we need a completion. And he's got it, finally. His first completion of the day. He's 1 for 4, 8 yards and a pick. And it took him until this third quarter to throw anything on this Patriots defense. And he throws another incompletion here somehow. Oh. It's really the defensive line up front. First down. The Cowboys are moving. Finally, on the ground, able to get something. The fake. Able to get it to his running back. But I think it's 2nd and 7. Oh, yeah, he gets 3 there. Big pickup. Making people miss. On the run, this is Hatchet. So finally, maybe a little spark of energy after halftime as they are moving on him. And we saw that last week, sort of. Second half, they were a little bit more confident. St. Louis just trying to hold them off best they can, because if you scored 28 in the first half, maybe these guys can. So a huge run. Getting down to the 23, gonna put them into the red zone for the first time in the game. Motion, right. And they barely get him down. Is down at the 15-yard line. It's 2nd and 2. So they got some tricks up their sleeve for sure. And they're playing every single one. Touchdown, Cowboys. Just confusing the defense to the point that they could not think. Oh, they're on the board. They are on the board. I repeat, they're on the board. As it is 7:27 a.m. in the Midwest. And the rumble of this stadium after that score. So at least the fans are still in it somehow, right? So a little return up to the 26. And Damian Harris today, 121 yards on the ground. And they're probably going to do a little bit more of that, I would guess. Especially after the 2 touchdown performance. So time ticking away as they snap the ball with 1 second. The third quarter just kind of is falling away. To the tight end. Upfield. Down at the 43. So keeping the passing game alive is important. This one to Danny Moss, who turns upfield for the first time in a long time. I think he was even surprised that he got 13 yards after the catch there. Sacked. So another sack for Cooper, who earlier was injured, and there's the end of the third. So no score for the Patriots in the third, as they just sucked the time out of this game. Almost picked off, but Danny Boss's hands able to just stay in front of everything. 7-yard gain. Third down. So the first time it's kind of looked even sort of dire for the Patriots, and they get the first down at the 3. So he's got 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think you hand this to Harris to get his third of the day. And he doesn't get it. Pushes him back. So you thought he had it, but second attempt, he's down at the 1. So they're going to go into a clock chew and take as much time as they can off this clock as they hand it back to him, and he's in for his touchdown. An easy little karate kick in. Right behind his blocker. So that's gonna be the story. It's just the 4 touchdowns on the season. 3 today. So he saw somebody else had 2 today, and he said, I'm gonna get 3. So it's really him who's going to get the benefit the most from this game, playing the Cowboys. An easy team, easy street. Incomplete. So 4 for 9 today for 32 yards and the touchdown. Hit as he throws. Incomplete. So I think he just didn't catch it because he was going to go backwards progression if he did. So third down. Again, it's dire for the Cowboys quite often. And another dire situation for them. Hit the running back, swinging out. Fourth down. And they're going for it because they just got him. And he's got it. That's a first down. So they're staying in this game with 2 minutes and 48 seconds left. almost picked, but he does the Danny Boss or gets his hands in front of it. I think the defensive back thought he picked it off because he stopped completely. Put down at the 28. Cowboys want to show that they can at least play on offense a little. This one incomplete. Second and 10. So this is where at least you can make your completion percentages look better. Hit hard. He's 8 for 15. Now that he's got that throw at the 2-minute warning. So finally kind of getting some respectable type numbers after a while. Keeping him inbounds. 9 for 16. So he's warming up, really. Maybe the season will be better for these Cowboys and they can get a win. Touchdown, Cowboys. As he goes 10 for 17. 2 touchdowns. And they're probably going to kick an onside. Big time play. This one picked up by Burgess. And that's about it. This one to Danny Boss. Again to Danny. To Maynard. Now with 40 seconds left. $15, $14. They hand it to him, and he trips on his way into the end zone. Just shy. Second and goal. End of the game type. Touchdown. It's 4th of the day. So clearly making sure he eats today. 42-14. Here's the kick. And he takes it out. And so they got 2 seconds. 42-14. It's probably going to be your ending score. Unless there's a touchdown or a pick 6, but it won't affect the game. Almost picked off. That's our game. He goes 10 for 18. So, ruining his passer rating a little bit there. But the Patriots had a good game, and Damian Harris had 4 touchdowns. He's looking to have a crazy year here. 145 yards rushing, 234 yards passing. It was really like balanced, but not good enough on either side, really, unless you count those 4 touchdowns. Then you're like, okay. That's just for his legacy, I think. So another failure for Danny. In Danny's pick. As he just could not get that one right. But obviously. So tomorrow we are looking at the very famous Denver Columbus game. Josh Burns leads the league in passing, but not for long because Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, and the rest of them are coming for him. For now, he can pretend. Damian Harris can also pretend he might keep that stat, though. Bobby Mentor's got the 2 sacks. Everybody's got 1 pick. We're waiting on someone to get 2. But yeah, it'll be exciting. Let's go. Yeah, I think I just gotta go to bed. So good night, everybody. Till tomorrow. Until tomorrow. Denver versus Columbus. Capitals. Jeremy Stott. Today we had St. Louis Patriots take the W. Take the W. Cleveland at Seattle's probably going to be the real best game, but Houston at Houston. The Houston Bowl is super exciting every year. Glad we get it early because it will really hype everything up. End of the week, Houston Bowl. So we're looking at it's Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Denver, Columbus. Thursday morning, Chicago, Brooklyn. Friday morning, Cleveland, Seattle. And then Saturday morning, Houston Bowl. Saturday morning, Houston Bowl. Maybe. Depending on how I feel. So yeah, the end. Goodbye.